This is the video you were looking for if you want to impress your friends the next time you show them your art or want a new skull tattoo that would stand out from the crowd. This video takes you from the pencil sketch through the ink wash, the watercolor, and then the highlights and lays it all out for you to try for yourself. There is no better way to improve your art than copying someone else, and there is no dishonor in that method. We all do it. If you're here just to watch, then have a good time. If you like watching tattoo artists, then you will love this video as well. Since you're probably either in the bathroom or in class watching this, the voiceover ends now. My wife says this work of art would make a great tattoo, and as popular as skulls are in tattoo art, I would agree. This particular skull resembles the sugar skull from Mexico. Sugar skulls are a traditional folk art from southern Mexico and are used as symbols to remember a person who has passed. Sugar skulls are made of granulated white sugar mixture that is pressed into skull-shaped molds and then decorated. Each sugar skull represents a departed loved one and is usually placed on an altar or a gravestone as an offering to the spirit of the dead. Sugar skulls are often decorated with a person's name. This work is loosely based on the sugar skull, but overall the design was more of a tribal decoration that I made up on the spot. I was looking to create patterns that people would naturally pick up on and are hardwired to seek out. If I were trying to emulate the sugar skull, this work would have turned out much differently, especially since I put a squid in the composition. The squid popped into my head as I was putting on the skull on the paper as a way to balance out the left side of the image and allowed me to put more patterns on its skin. And the eyeballs and the tentacles is something new for me and is becoming a trademark of my art. My overall goal for this was to create a black and white Frank Millerish inspired image with a lot of contrast. I did at the end add some gray wash to pull the skull forward, and in the end decided to add some red and blue accent colors to make the whole thing pop. I made sure to add the ink palette in the video so you could see how I go back in and out to refresh my brush. I added just a touch of water to the ink to make sure it would flow easily off the brush. I used 2 different size brushes for the most part and thickened up as much of the outside edges in a comic book style with a 3/8 brush. The fine line was great to get into tight spots and add more patterns that hooked your eye. If you picked this video to learn how to paint a skull like this, then please stay till the end. If you are here just to watch the process, then again stay till the end. The best way to learn is by observation, and our creation can be very entertaining. The following is from the website Chronic Ink from Toronto, Canada, and is related to skull tattoos. A human skull tattoo. The human skull tattoo generally represents death. The person wearing this tattoo usually uses it to symbolize the fact that death does not scare them. It also reminds people that death is inevitable. Therefore, we should always live life to the absolute fullest. In other words, a fear of mortality should not dictate your quality of life. The Grim Reaper tattoo. Although the Grim Reaper tattoo is common representation of death, this tattoo actually symbolizes the circle of life and can represent courage and a good fortune. It is sometimes accompanied by the words such as "Fear the Reaper" or "No fear," "Death comes for us all," and other quotes. The Skull with Wings tattoo. A skull with wings comes from hundreds of years of art culture and represents the Latin saying "memento mori," which translates to remembrance of our own death. This can represent, once again, our mortality, or also symbolize the sense of character growth, as in the death of a bad habit or quality in ourselves. The Longhorn Skull tattoo. The Longhorn skull is inspired by the Native American culture. They believe this tattoo is a symbol of the everlasting protection of Earth's natural elements. It is also seen to represent courage and strength to fight evil using the elements of the earth. Skulls are often the chosen tattoo of those looking for a bold and artistic design that makes a statement. The skull is a powerful symbol, as it states that our mortality should not be feared, as our death on earth is simply the beginning of a new life. In other words, death should not be feared, because although dying is part of life, it is also not quite the end. Skull tattoos are an extremely popular form of symbolism seen in both culture and tattoos. These tattoos may be representative of both the positive and the negative, good and evil, and also life and death. For the most part, skulls represent some sort of positive aspect that comes from the negative, because the human skull is the last part of the body to decay after death. It is known to represent consciousness, intellect, and our temporary stay in this physical world. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video so you can see all of my other new works as I produce them and post them to this page.